Imagine England in the 12th century, an age of knights and crusaders, monasteries and bustling markets, a land ruled by Norman kings, but where small villages still lived by their own laws and held on to ancient beliefs. And it was in this world, around the year 1150, that something happened which remains one of the strangest mysteries of the Middle Ages. The village of Woolpit lay in Suffolk, surrounded by forests and deep pits once dug to trap wolves. One summer day, while peasants were working in the fields, they heard the sound of children crying. But it wasn't coming from the road. It came from inside one of the pits. When they looked down, they saw something that would haunt them forever. Inside the pit were two children, a boy and a girl. They were thin, dressed in strange clothes made of the peasants froze. In those days, green skin was associated with spirits, demons, or beings from another world. But the children looked too weak, too human, and too lost to be dangerous. They were taken into the village. The villagers tried to feed them bread, meat, fruit, but the children refused everything. They cried until someone brought them raw beans. Only then did they eat for the first time. For weeks they survived on beans alone. But the story took a darker turn. The boy grew weaker and soon died. The girl survived, and with time, she learned to speak English. And that's when she told her story. She claimed that she and her brother came from a land where the sun never shone. There was no daylight, only twilight, a greenish half-light that covered everything. Her people lived in caves or perhaps in a vast underground world. One day, she said, they heard the sound of bells. They followed the sound, wandered through dark passages, and suddenly, they were in the pit, in our world. The tale spread quickly, and it was written down by two chroniclers of the time, William of Newburgh, a historian who collected unusual events, and Ralph of Coggeshall, a monk known for his detailed accounts of strange happenings. Thanks to them, the legend of the Green Children survived almost 900 years. But what really happened? There are several theories. 1. A folk tale. Perhaps this was never real, but a medieval story symbolizing the fear of strangers and the unknown. Green skin could represent outsiders. 2. Flemish orphans. At that time, Flemish immigrants lived near Suffolk. Their dialect would have sounded strange, almost incomprehensible. And green skin? Some suggest a disease called chlorosis, caused by malnutrition and iron deficiency. 3. A parallel world. Others believe the girl's words about a land of twilight hint at another dimension, a place beyond our own. 4. Visitors from the stars. In the 20th century, ufologists proposed a bolder idea, that the children weren't human at all. Their strange skin, their fear of normal food, their mysterious arrival, could they have come from somewhere far beyond Earth? The truth remains hidden, but the story still lingers. in Woolpit, and the villagers still tell travelers about the day two green-skinned children appeared from nowhere. Think about it. If it was just a fairy tale, why was it so carefully recorded in medieval chronicles? If it was just illness, how do we explain the girl's story of a sunless world? And if it was real, then who else might step through from that place where the sun never shines? Maybe the sound of bells that led them here is still ringing. And perhaps right now, as you listen to this story, somewhere out there in the woods, two green children are still searching for their way home.